Just gonna do a low alternating lunge, or sorry, side lunge with an alternating side raise and forward raise. Don't need to get super low in this lunge. We're just getting warmed up. Some fluid running through our joints here. So for those of you who are new, we always sort of follow the same format for class, about a 5-minute warm-up. Then we'll do a 12 minutes HIIT cycle, full body. That 12-minute cycle consists of 6 exercises. We do each exercise for 30 seconds, then take a 10-second break to switch basically just to the next exercise, and we repeat those 6 exercises 3 times. So it's about 4 minutes to cycle through the 6 exercises, and we do it 3 times. So we'll do 2 12-minute cycles, full body, then we'll do 8 minutes of core, and then we'll, whatever time we have left, 10 or 15 minutes or so, we'll do some yoga. So now we're gonna come to a forward lunge, twisting in the direction of your forward leg, back to standing, lunge the other side, and twist. If you find you're having to really arch your back and heave yourself back up to standing, take a shorter lunge forward. Just make sure you're lunging down instead of forward, right? So we want to make sure that front knee isn't coming forward past your toes. My kids are being real special this morning, so they're downstairs with the TV on. I banished them because there's a lot of whining going on. Trying to get a little lower in your lunge now that we're starting to get a little warmed up here. So now we're going to come down to a plank. You're going to step forward with your right foot, so it's up by your right hand, coming up into a low lunge, stretching your arms overhead, maybe a little baby back bend, back to a plank, step forward with your left foot, little back bend. Little back bend. Keep going with that. I just got a message that someone's having trouble finding the link, so I'm just going to quickly text it to her. So just keep going on your plank step to a back bend. Technical difficulties while everyone's getting used to this whole Zoom thing. So now we're going to switch to an in and out squat. So come facing forward. We're going to squat up, step out to the middle, step out the other side. Trying to get a little lower now. We're picking up the pace here. People can't find the link. Keep it going. We're going to take this to a bit of a jump squat. An in and out jump squat. A few seconds here. So we're going to jump our feet out, in narrow. Jumping out, back in narrow. Out and in. This is hard on your knees. You can always take out the jump and just go back to stepping wide and stepping narrow. There we go. Now, technical difficulties always. Now we're going to come facing forward, fast feet. When I say hold, we're going to hold a squat. And hold, nice and low. And fire feet. Embrace the jiggle. And hold. And let's go. So I'll be giving low impact options throughout the workout. And hold. And let's go fire feet. Injections into a nerve in my foot on Monday, so might be taking some of those low impact options, but I'll give you guys lots of options here. And hold. Stay low, keep holding, and fire feet. Nice and fast, we should be feeling warm now. Fast feet, as fast as you can. And hold. Good, come up to standing. I'm gonna go through and demo our first round of 6 exercises. While I'm doing that, you can either copy along with me or keep a bit of a boxer shuffle going, or a march or a side step, anything to maintain your warm up. So our first exercise, it's a cardio exercise. We're gonna do a squat jump with a twist. You're gonna get low, jump it up and twist, landing with your feet this way. So you're trying to think about keeping your shoulders facing forward. You're using your core just to twist below the waist. So you can also just do an air squat if you want to take out the jump. We're then going to grab our weights. If you have a heavier weight, you can do it with that. I'm just going to grab both of my 5-pound dumbbells in one hand. We're going to have our right leg forward, so weights are in the left hand. We're doing a static deadlift or a warrior 3 if you do yoga. So you're going to hold this glute, your left glute is keeping that leg up high in the air. The weights are in the left hand. You're going to row those weights up, bringing them up between your hip and your ribs. So it'll look like this. You can also hold a wall with one hand as we get going. You get a little tired, you might need to hang on to a wall, that's fine. Excuse me. Then I'm going to do a plyo push-up. So probably need a mat. I'm going to do these from my knees. You're going to come down into a push-up, powering up, so your hands come off the floor. Building lots of power here in our pecs. If you reach failure with that, just take out the jump and go straight to a push-up. You can also do a plyo push-up off the wall as well if you can't come down onto your knees. Then we're just going to do jumping lunges. So jumping one leg forward and then the other. You can also do a little pause in the middle or just an alternating rear lunge, making sure that knee is not coming forward in front of your toe. We're then going to do the left leg forward for a deadlift row on the other side. And then our last one is a forward raise with a twist. So with your weights, slight bend to your knees, using your abs, keeping your core in tight, raising forward, twist to one side, back to center, and down, raise, twist the other side, back to center, and down. So those are our 6 exercises. We're going to start with our jump squat with a twist on the buzzer. So here we go. Squatting low, trying to keep your shoulders pointing forwards right at the screen. Just twisting below the waist. Trying to stack your feet, one on top of the other. 10 seconds left here. Then we're going into our deadlift row with the right leg forward. Getting low in that squat if you can. Okay, grabbing your weights. Weights in the left hand. Right leg is forward. Left leg is up in the air. Come this side. You can hang onto the wall if you need to. Rowing those weights so they come up between your hip bone and your ribs. Using your back muscles, so squeeze between your shoulder blades. Trying to keep that left leg high. Using the glutes on the left leg to keep the leg up, glutes on the right leg, and hamstrings on the right leg to balance you. Good, almost done with these. Then we're gonna go into our plyo push-ups. So grabbing a mat if you want to. I'm doing them from my knees. Some of you might be doing them from your toes, that's awesome. So sinking down into a push-up from down here, powering up, jumping your hands off the floor. If you find you're pushing yourself backwards, you might need to anchor your feet on a wall. Halfway done. Take it just to a straight push-up anytime you need to. Nice, good form here. 5 seconds left. And then we're going into our jumping lunges. Come on up. If you get a little bit lightheaded going from the floor to standing, take an extra few seconds. Catch your breath. Make sure you're not dizzy before you join us for jumping lunges. Here we go. Remember, you can always add a little pause in the middle or just an alternating reverse lunge. Take breaks anytime you need to. Grab a sip of water. There's not going to be any scheduled breaks till the end of the 12-minute cycle. but take a break anytime you need to, and then just join back in when you're ready. 5 seconds left. Then we're doing the deadlift row on the left side. So weights are in the right hand, left leg is forward. You can have your hand on the wall if you need to. Here we go. That front knee is bent slightly. Toes on the left or on the right foot are pointing straight down towards the floor. That'll help you keep your hips level. Engaging the muscles of your back and rowing the weights up. Almost there, guys. Keep a hold of your weights. Forward raise with a twist, so slight bend to your knees. Abs are in tight. You're gonna lift your weights up to shoulder height. Twist one way, back to center, down. Raise them again, twist, back to center and down. Good, this is the last exercise of the circuit. We're gonna start again from the top with a jump squat and a twist. Normally I like having my kids around when I exercise because I think it teaches them good habits. Not today. So put your weights aside, jump in a twist. I also like for you guys to see my kids being annoying, so you feel like you're not the only one. Twist below the waist, keeping those shoulders forward. You can even, I find it helpful to put my hands on my shoulders when I'm doing this. Good. I think a lot of women, when they think they need to wait till their kids are napping or out of the house to work out. Don't. Do it with them around. Teach them good, healthy habits. Good, so grab your weights. Weights in your left hand. Right leg is forward for our deadlift row. I also think it's nice for you guys to see that sometimes, you know, you gotta stop and wipe a bum or deal with someone that's crying or whatever, which is fine. You just come right back to it. A lot of people, as soon as they get interrupted, will just decide to call it quits on their workout, but it's fine. Take a break, deal with whatever's going on with the kiddos, and get right back at it. Today, if I tried to do that, I wouldn't be able to talk to you guys at all. Okay, dropping your weights into our plyo push-ups. Here we go. Nice strong power up. Or just a regular push-up, or a plyo push-up on the wall. Getting your chest nice and low to the floor. 10 seconds left. Keep that jump going with me if you can. After this, we're into our jumping lunges. Okay, come on up. Jumping lunge or an alternating rear lunge. Halfway through this cycle. Here we go. Add a little pause in the middle if you need to, or take out the jump entirely and just do an alternating rear lunge. You can hold your weights if you want to, if you're going to be doing that. Five seconds left, keep it going. Good. Grabbing your weights for a deadlift row on the other side. Left leg is forward, weights are in your right hand. Good deep breaths. Here we go. Rowing it up. If you can, take your hand off the wall. Please try to. Challenge your balance a little bit. Get all those little muscles in that standing leg working to keep you balanced. Good. Almost done. Keep a hold of your weights. Our forward raise with a twist. Slight bend to your knee, core is nice and tight. Raise, twist, forward, and down. Up, twist, center, and down. Keep it going. If you reach failure here, two options. You can either drop your weights and continue with just body weight, or just a forward raise and take out the twist. Okay, dropping your weights down. Starting from the top again with our squat, jump, and a twist. Making sure those shoulders, as much as you can, stay pointing forward. Here we go, squat down, twist. Wonder if other people are having trouble with the link on the Facebook page, because we're missing a bunch of people that are usually here. Good. Last time we have to do this one. 5 seconds left here. Good. Grabbing your weights. Right leg is forward, weights in the left hand for our deadlift row. Holding the wall if you need to, but trying to take that hand off if you can. You'll probably find you have better balance on one side than the other. The toes that are in the air, pointing them straight down towards the floor. Keep those hips level. Engaging your back muscles to row. Using your glutes. Keep that leg high, almost done. Good. Into our plyo push-up. Keep going with the jump with me if you can, or just take it to a straight push-up. Really increasing our power here. Anchor your toes if you find you're pushing yourself backwards. 10 seconds left, guys, you got this. Okay, good job. Come on up into our jumping lunges. Again, if you're lightheaded, when you go from on the floor to standing, take a minute, catch your breath. Otherwise, here we go. Dripping all over my floor here again. Really need to start bringing a towel when I do this. Good job. 5 seconds left. Keep that jump going if you can. Okay, grabbing your weights. Weights are in your right hand, left leg is forward for our deadlift row. Hand is on the wall if you need to. Pointing those right toes straight down to the floor. Slight bend to your left knee in front. Weights are coming up between your hip bones and your ribs. Squeezing those muscles of your back. A lot going on in this movement. Whole body is working. Get that right leg a little higher. Good. Last one, keeping hold of your weights. Forward raise with a twist. You're gonna get a break after this. Knees slightly bent. Core is in tight. Raise, twist. So I don't want you doing this. Use your core to keep you nice and upright while you're twisting. If you have to arch for your twist, then either drop your weights or just do a straight forward raise. We have 5 seconds left here, guys. I hear fighting coming from downstairs. Woo. All right, take a break. Grab a drink of water, walk around a little bit, don't sit down. Okay, so I'm gonna go through, this is still your rest time. I'm gonna go through and demo our next round of exercises. So keep your feet moving. Try to get your heart rate down a little bit. So the first one, called a man maker or a woman maker. We're gonna take our dumbbells. It's like a burpee, but instead of a jump, we're gonna do an overhead press. So with our weights, we're gonna come down, making sure your weights are nice and balanced on the floor. Either step or jump back, push up, jump your feet forward to your weights. Butt is low, weights come up to your shoulders, and press. Back down, jumping your feet back, push up, come forward, press. You can always take out the push up, just stepping back into a plank. If that's hard on your back and you can't do those planks, you can just touch the floor with your weights, bring them to your shoulders, and press. Back down and press, and take the plank push-up portion out of it. Then we're gonna go into a deadlift swing. So with your weights hanging between your legs, it's similar to a kettlebell swing, but we all see the kettlebell swings like this, right? Where you're swinging your arms up. Your arms are gonna be passive in this. All we're working here is our glutes. So you're gonna bend your knees slightly so the weights are hanging right at your knees, and then you're going to engage your glutes, thrusting your hips forward. So the swing is coming entirely from the momentum of my hips. My arms are just hanging there, not doing anything. So you need to get a good clench of your glutes. You can also do this with your heavier weight if you have one available. Excuse me. Then we're gonna take our weights up overhead. Legs are out in a sumo squat, so toes are pointed out, knees tracking in line with the toes, actively thinking about pushing your knees out to keep them out wide so you're not caving in this way. Arms overhead, we're gonna do a sumo squat with a tricep extension. If your legs are getting too tired with this, you can also just do a straight tricep extension with either 1 or 2 dumbbells, whatever works for you. But I'm gonna put our weights to the side for some table toe taps. So sitting on your bum, fingers are pointed back towards your butt. You're going to tap your opposite toe. So using your core to raise that foot up high so that you can tap it. Then you're gonna do a squat jump with 3 kickback pulses on one leg. So squatting low, squat jump, come to standing, 3 pulses back with your right leg, using your glutes, driving your heel to the ceiling. Come back down for a squat jump. Other side, 1, 2, 3. My balance is really bad today. 1, 2, 3. Okay, you can always turn yourself back and forth if you need to keep a hand on the wall. And then our last one, we're gonna grab our weights again. We're gonna do a lunge forward, staying low, curl, bicep curl with your weights, into a shoulder press, curl it back to standing, down. So we're staying nice and low in our lunge the whole time. So we're gonna get started from the top with the man maker. So that's the burpee with an overhead press. So get yourself set up. I'm gonna start our timer. Remember, if you need to, you can take out the push-up or take out the plank portion entirely. So here we go. Putting your weights on the floor, jumping back, push up if you can. Feet forward, butt low. Coming up and press. Getting your butt low will help you keep your back straight. Good. Halfway done. This is a challenging movement, so take whatever variation works for you. Good, come on up. Into our deadlift swing. So your weights are dangling at your knees. Knees are slightly bent, back is flat. Using your glutes to drive your hips forward. Arms are passive here. The swing is coming entirely from the momentum created by our hips and our glutes, making sure you get a good, strong clench of your glutes. If you have a heavier dumbbell or kettlebell, you can do that too. Couple more seconds. Into our sumo squat with a tricep extension. So toes are wide. Knees are tracking over the toes. We're trying to get our thighs parallel to the floor. Arms overhead. You can either have 1 or 2 dumbbells on the go, whatever works for you. Good job. Extending up. You're only bending at the elbows here. Last few seconds. Okay, put your weights to the side. We're going into table toe taps on your bum. On the buzzer, we're gonna raise our hips up, tapping our opposite toe. Once you get the feel of this, pick up the pace a little. Using your core muscles. They're nice and tight. This is harder than it looks. Whole body movement here, 10 seconds left. Okay, come on up. Into our squat jump with 3 glute kickbacks. Catching your breath. Again, if you get lightheaded, take a second. Squat down and jump. Kick back 3 times on the right leg. Back to your squat jump on the left leg. Pointing that toe straight down towards the floor to help keep your hips level. Using your glutes on that back leg to drive your heel to the ceiling. Hold onto the wall if you need to. You can take out the jump and just do an air squat as well. Last one, our alternating lunge with a curl and press. Big deep breaths. Here we go. Stay low. Curl it up. Press. Back down to standing. Other leg. Curl and press. Shoulders down away from your ears. Try to stay low in that lunge. Again, if you're having to really heave yourself back, take a shorter stance. 5 seconds left, and we're starting from the top. We're keeping our weights now for our man maker. Take any version you need to, either take out the push-up or just a squat and press. If you can keep going with the full man maker, let's do it. Butt low, up and press. You can also drop to your knees for your push-up or eliminate the push-up entirely. Good job, guys. Almost done. 5 more seconds. Woo. Come on up. Into our deadlift swing. Weights are hanging at your knees, slight bend. Using our glutes. Here we go. Nice clench at the top here. Arms are passive. The swing is coming entirely from that forward thrust of your hips. So making sure you get a nice, good clench of your butt. Good job. 5 seconds left here, guys. You got this. Whew. Into our sumo squat with tricep extensions. Feet are wide, toes are pointing out, knees tracking over the toes, arms are overhead. Squat down, extend as you come up. Trying to get your thighs parallel to the floor. Knees tracking directly in line with your toes. So you're gonna have to think about pushing your knees out wide. Extending through the elbows. 10 seconds left. Almost there, guys. You got this. Dropping your weights down, we're coming into table toe taps. On your bum on the floor. On the buzzer, drive our hips up, tapping our opposite toe. Think about engaging those abs. Almost done. 5 seconds left. Okay, come on up. Into our jump squat with 3 kickback pulses. Catching your breath here. Making sure you're not dizzy before you get started. Here we go. Jump squat, come back down, get your balance. 3 pulses. Back into a jump squat. You can take out the jump if you need to. Just do an air squat. Hanging onto the wall if you need to. Try not to. Really work those little balancing muscles in your standing leg. But as we get tired, we get a little shaky, lose our balance. Last one. Alternating lunge with a curl and press. Catching your breath here. Here we go. Coming forward in your lunge, nice and low. Curl, press. Back down, and to standing. Again, making sure you're not arching. When you come back up to stand, take a shorter stance if you find you have to do that. Oh, my shoulders are burning. One more round, guys. 4 more minutes. Keep it going. Good. Starting from the top with our man maker. Everybody's favorite. Shake out those arms. Take whatever variation you need to. Weights on the floor. Jump back for your push-up. Butt down as you come up to a press. Drop to your knees for that push-up if you need to, or eliminate it entirely. Stepping back into your plank if you're finding any swaying or discomfort in your low back. 5 seconds left, guys. You got this. Good. Coming up into our deadlift swing. Weights are hanging at about knee level. Slight bend to your knees. Flat back. Driving your hips forward. Giving our arms a bit of a break here. Really thinking about those glutes. Good clench of the glutes to drive your hips forward. 10 seconds left. I think this is the longest my kids have ever left me alone. They might be sleeping down there. Couple seconds left. Good, into our sumo squat with tricep extensions. Feet are wide, knees are pulled out. Arms overhead. Make sure you do this one from the side. Back is nice and straight. You're trying not to arch. Extending through your elbows. Thinking about driving your knees out wide. Sinking low, trying to get your thighs parallel to the floor. Extending through your elbows. Couple seconds left. Good. Into our table toe taps. Putting your weights to the side. On the buzzer, hips come up nice and high. Tapping your opposite toe. Using your abs here. We're getting tired. We need to really think about the muscles here as we're using them. Five seconds left. Try to get your hips a little higher. Good. Come on up into our squat jump with 3 kickback pulses. Catching your breath, taking an extra few seconds if you're lightheaded. Squatting down. Jump. 3 pulses. Hanging onto the wall if you need to, but try not to. You'll probably find you have better balance on one foot than the other. That's normal. That's why we do single leg things. Pointing the toes of the back leg straight down to the floor. Keep your hips level. One more exercise after this, guys, and we're done. Good. Grabbing your weights. A lunge with a curl and press. Last 30 seconds. Here we go. Stepping forward, getting low. Staying low while you curl and press. Nice and low. Shorten your stance. If you're really having to heave yourself back up to standing. Halfway done. 10 seconds left to work here, guys. And just some abs. Ab circuit is the same, 6 exercises, but we're only gonna cycle through it twice. Whew. Set your weights aside, grab a drink of water, walk around a little bit, so that before we come back down onto our mats, our heart rate is down a little. Oh. Oh shoot. I don't know if I put on the website that we started at 9:30. I got a bunch of messages. Whoopsie, typo. Well, we're here now, so let's get started. So we're gonna need a single weight for our ab portion here, just for the first exercise. So I'll go through, do a quick demo of our ab exercises. So if your weight will stand up on end like that, set it up at the end of your mat. Our first one, we're gonna be on our bum, fingers pointed towards ourselves. We're gonna do wide leg raises. Nice and slow and controlled. You can also do one leg at a time, or knees bent. Then, sorry, we are gonna need our weights for the second one. Dead bugs, so on our back, knees are up. We're going to extend the opposite arm and leg, let it hover for a few seconds. Come back up, other arm and leg, let it hover. You can also do that without your weights if you want to. Setting our weights aside, arms out to a T. Right leg is straight, left leg is bent. We're gonna sit up, touching our right toe for the whole 30 seconds on the right side. Then we're gonna do the opposite, extending the left leg, right knee bent, sitting up and tapping our toe. Try to get your shoulders all the way off the floor if you can. Then on our mat, we're gonna come into a plank. We're going to use our abs to drive our hips to the ceiling, trying to tap your opposite toe. You can touch your knee, your shin, whatever you can get to. Back to plank, driving your hips up, tapping your toe. Then the last one is Superman W's. So arms and legs extended. We're gonna raise our arms and legs off the floor. We're gonna try to stay up in this high Superman for the full 30 seconds. You're gonna use your arms, try to make a W shape. So it's like you're trying to touch your elbows behind your back, extending back up, bringing it back. If you need to come down to take a rest, that's fine too. So we're gonna start with our wide leg raises. Weight at the end of your mat. Sitting, you can either be back on your forearms. I like to do it up on my hands. We're gonna be raising our legs together, up and together over the weight. So on the buzzer, here we go. Pulling your abs nice and flat before you move. Nice and slow and controlled. If you find you're going really dropping your legs back to the floor, go one leg at a time or bent legs. 10 seconds left. Last few seconds. Okay, grabbing your weights, coming on your back for dead bugs. So legs are up at 90, arms overhead, extending opposite arm and leg down to the floor. Letting it hover over the floor for a second before bringing it back up. Try to do a big, loud, long exhale for the entire lower and bring back up like this. Inhale at the top. Inhale at the top. So that exhale is going to last for the entire lower, hover, and raise portion. Okay, dropping your weights to the side. Arms are out to a T, you're on your back. Right leg is extended, left knee is bent. You're gonna come up, trying to get your shoulders off the floor to tap that right toe. Trying to get up as high as you can with that upper body. Halfway done. Pulling your abs in nice and flat before you move. So take it as slow as you need to. Okay, other side, bending the right knee, left knee is extended, arms are out to a T. Same thing on the other side. Here we go. Getting your whole upper body off the floor if you can, pulling your abs in nice and flat before you move. Slow and controlled when we're doing our ab work. 10 seconds left. Okay, coming into a plank. From a plank, we're using our core to drive our hips up to a down dog, tapping your opposite toe, or your knee, or your shin, whatever you can reach. Making sure you have a nice solid plank in between. It's not about speed here, it's about being in control. 10 seconds left, and then we're going into our Superman W's. Okay, so on your stomachs, arms are in, legs are extended. We're gonna try to hold ourselves up in our high Superman on the buzzer. Here we go, up high. Now making a W shape with your arms, extending back overhead, trying to touch those elbows behind your back. Shoulders down away from your ears. We're squeezing between our shoulder blades every time. You can take this W portion out and just do Supermans. You can come down anytime you need a break. After this, we're starting from the top with our wide leg raises. So coming onto your bum, your weight is on end at the end of your mat. This is the last time we're going through this, then we'll do a little bit of yoga. So here we go. Legs are wide, bringing them up and together, nice and controlled. Pulling your abs down flat before you move. The whole pulling your belly button towards your spine that has fitness instructors like to say. Big exhales as you lift. Okay, grabbing your weights, coming onto your back for our dead bugs. Remember, a big, long, loud exhale for the entire lower, hover and raise. Inhale, top. Inhale. Inhale at the top. Those big, loud, long exhales force your lower abs to get a little bit more engaged. You can probably feel it's harder. You feel your muscles working more when you do that big, loud exhale. Good, setting your weights aside, arms are out to a T. Left leg is bent, right leg is straight. Here we go. Trying to get your upper body off the floor as much as you can. Pulling your abs down and flat first, then move. Big, loud exhales. Other side. Right knee is bent, left leg is extended, arms out to a T. We're almost done. Here we go, abs nice and flat, then move. Last time we have to do these. Almost done. Okay, coming over onto your front into a high plank. We're doing our toe taps, using those abs to drive your hips up to the sky into a down dog. Nice solid plank in between. Tapping the opposite toe, knee, shin, whatever you can reach. Nice solid plank in between. Okay, last one is our Superman W's on your stomach. Coming up with your arms and legs, moving just your arms back and forward. So coming up into a Superman, try to touch your elbows behind your back, extending back overhead, trying to touch your elbows. Shoulders down away from your ears, we're not shrugging them up. Last few seconds of work here, and then we'll do a little bit of yoga. I'm not a yoga instructor, so don't expect anything fancy.
Activity completed.
Whew. Good job, guys. So grab a drink of water, take off your shoes and socks if you want to. We'll get going with a little bit of yoga in just a minute here. There's a lot of awake children last night, so I wouldn't be surprised if I go down there and they're sleeping in my bed where I set them up with some Paw Patrol. So we're gonna come to standing at the front of our mats. Big toes touching, heels slightly separated. Inhale as you raise your arms overhead. Exhale as you fold forward, hinging from the hips. Try not to round like this. You're gonna bend one knee, then the other here. Stretching into those hamstrings, hands to the shins if that's more comfortable. Now grabbing your opposite elbow, just let yourself hang, let your head go heavy. Releasing your hands back to the mat. Walk your feet so they're about the same width as your mat, keeping that forward fold. Now bending your knees, sink your hips down, bringing your hands to prayer and trying to push your knees out a little bit with your elbows. You can rock side to side here if that feels good. Holding it in center again. Back is nice and straight. Dropping your left hand down to the mat, right arm up and twist. Looking up towards your hand. You can bring your hand down and around to your low back if that feels good, or keep it extended. Back through center. Pressing into your knees again, rocking if you like that. Right leg down to the mat, left leg up, or left arm up, sorry, as you twist. Again, you can bring it around to your low back if that feels good for you. And back to center, pressing into your knees again. Hands down to the mat, come back up to standing in a forward fold. Walk your feet back so they're about hip widths apart. We're gonna take our feet, lift our toes up, putting our hands underneath our feet so your toes are coming into the creases of your wrists. Bending your knees as much as you need to maintain a flat back, trying to extend a little bit. We're stretching our wrists and our hamstrings here. Your wrists are probably a little sore. In these HIIT workouts, we do a lot of push-ups and planks and things where our wrists are flexed a lot. Releasing that, coming back to a forward fold. Heel toeing your feet back together so big toes are touching, heels slightly separated. Coming back up to standing, arms overhead. Bring them back to your heart. Again, inhale, extending your arms overhead. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale as you bring your hands to your shins with a flat back, come up and look forward. Placing your hands on the mat, stepping back into a plank. Dropping your knees down, lowering slowly all the way to the floor. Pressing all 10 toes down into the mat, come up into a little cobra. Tucking your toes under, press back to a plank. Back to a down dog, lifting your hips. We're gonna take a minute in this down dog. I want you to bend one knee and then the other to really stretch into your calves. Now pressing both heels down towards the floor, stretching back for a second. Stepping forward with your right foot up by your right hand. We're gonna drop our left knee to the floor, coming up into a low lunge. Try to clasp your hands behind your back, stretch into your chest as you press your hips forward. Releasing your hands down to the mat, extending that front knee into a runner stretch. At the same time, you might want to walk your hands back a little bit and round up through your upper back. I'm going to do that one more time. So bending that front knee, coming forward into a low lunge, clasping your hands behind your back, stretching into your chest. Releasing those hands to the mat, straightening that front knee. You can pick your toes up if you want to, and rounding through that upper back. Pressing away from your mat. Your little feet coming. Hands to the mat. Coming back into a down dog, stepping that right leg back. Again, bending one knee and then the other. Mommy? Hi, baby girl.
Yeah, that one kind of one left now.
Okay, there's some food on the table there for you.
Where?
There's peanut butter toast.
Okay.
On the table, thank you.
Yeah, that one.
Yep, on the big table. Stepping forward with your left leg, dropping your right knee down to the floor, coming up into a low lunge on this side. Again, if it felt good, you can stretch through your chest as you press forward with your hips. Releasing your hands to the mat, straighten that front knee. You can pick your toes up if you want, or keep them on the mat, whatever feels good for you. No rounding, pressing away from the mat, rounding through that upper back. Again, bending that front knee, coming forward into a lunge, stretching through your chest. Releasing your hands to the mat, pressing back one more time, rounding through that upper back. Come forward, hands on the mat, step that left leg back, so you're in a down dog again. Shifting your weight forward, shoulders over wrists, down onto your knees. Do some cat-cow, so do these at your own pace, arching your back, looking up towards the ceiling, and pressing away, rounding up. Again, dropping your down, arching through your back, chest forward, looking up. And pressing away from the mat. Take your right arm straight out to the side. Bring it underneath your body. Come down to rest on that right shoulder. This is good enough. You can stay here, or you can extend your left arm up, hooking it on your low back or your right thigh, and try to twist a little bit farther, trying to rotate that left shoulder up towards the ceiling. Releasing your left arm, coming back up to table. Same thing on the other side. Left arm straight out to the side. Bring it underneath your body, coming to rest down on that left shoulder. Feels good for you. You can extend your right arm up, hook it around on your low back or your left thigh, and try to twist that right shoulder up towards the ceiling. Releasing the right arm back down to the mat, coming back to table. Walk your hands forward slightly, hips back up into down dog. You're gonna take pigeon on the right side, so extending your right leg up. Bring it forward so that your left or your right wrist is up by your left hand. Left foot is extended back behind you. Coming forward as much as you can and relaxing into that right hip. If this hurts your knee, come onto your back, crossing your right knee over your left and pull it into your body. Otherwise, if it feels okay, take pigeon. We're gonna hold pigeon here for about a full minute. So making sure with nice and relaxed, there's no tension in the hips. Try to relax with every exhale, sink a little bit more into that right hip. Relaxing here as much as you can. Come up onto your hands, take your right arm, have it parallel with the front of your mat, and if you can, reach back with your left hand to grab your left foot for a quad stretch. If that's not available to you, you can always roll onto your side, do a quad stretch from here. Otherwise, you can stay in pigeon to get a little bit more of a stretch into that hip at the same time as we're stretching our quad. You can also come up onto your hand if that's more comfortable for you. Releasing that left foot back down, hands to the mat, curling your left toes under, hips back, raising your right leg up to the sky, stretch it out a bit, placing it back down on your mat into down dog. You do the same thing on the left, extending your left leg up, bringing it through for pigeon on the left side. So your left ankle is up by your right wrist, extending your right leg all the way back, all 5 toes down on the mat, coming forward any amount. Breathing here, trying to relax into that left hip with every exhale. Again, you can always roll onto your back and take thread the needle. Coming up so your left forearm is parallel with the front of your mat or up onto your hand and reaching back to grab that right knee or that right foot, sorry, if you can. Again, you can always roll off onto your left hip and do a quad stretch that way as well if that feels better. Releasing that right foot down to the mat, hands come onto your mat. Right toes tuck under, pressing your hips back, extending your left leg up, shake it out a little bit, placing it back down on the mat. Little breath in down dog here. Exhaling all the air out. Looking forward, stepping up. Hands between your feet between your hands. Setting your back is nice and flat. Hands come to your shins. We're going to look forward. And folding forward one more time. Grounding through the feet as you rise up. Arms up overhead. And hands come to your heart. So that's it, guys. That's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for joining me. I know there's a little confusion with the time, I think, so hopefully I didn't mess it up too bad. So it'll be 9 a.m. every Monday and Wednesday. So next class will be Monday next week. So have a great weekend, and I hope to see you again.